Hey guys, and welcome back to the Paradise podcast. I'm Nicole Hayes, and today I'm joined with Sakina Boateng, and we're going to be talking about women in sport. So obviously, Sakina, there's a lot more female participants in the Paralympics, which is brilliant to see, but it's still not enough. What do we think about that?
Well, Nicole, you know how you mentioned there's obviously not enough women in the Paralympic field of sport. I think it's just a long stepping stone, I feel like. We can't change what's happened in the past. We can't change people's thoughts on women in sport. We can't change stereotypes, but we can actually change stereotypes because with more involvement with women from different sports, and that's just not women. It can also be men as well, because I think they don't realise how important they are in this. It's enough for women to fight for our rights and all that, but we also have to have the backing of men because really and truly they're the leaders of the world. So if we can have men coming in and helping the women in sport, I think we'll see a big difference. And, this won't change overnight. Like I said, it's a lot of old stereotypes that we have to conquer. And I think it really can change. We see football changing, we see the basketball league changing. So I don't see why Paralympics can't change as well.
So with the lack of the backing of, important male figures in the world, do you not feel like we have that backing yet? And who are the people that we need to reach out to get that, support from male figures in the world?
I think in a way we don't quite have that backing yet. I feel like if we did have that backing, then there wouldn't be such a big difference in the numbers currently. But I feel like backings from the same people who put fundings into the normal Olympics, the men's doing sports, their sponsors, I feel like they have to reach out to these up-and-coming young Paralympic women and also try and bring them up as well. Because, we have to be a team in this. So I don't see why a sponsor for the Olympics can't help the sponsors in the Paralympics as well.
Yeah, maybe, get more funding from the national governing bodies in the sport, such as the IPC, the International Paralympic Committee.
Yes.
And I feel like if there's more awareness about women in sport, more people would want to participate in as well. But obviously, as you can see from the graphs on our website of Women in Sport section, you can clearly see the participation of female in Paralympics is growing, It started at around 23-24%, but it's risen up to nearly 30%, which is brilliant to see over the years. But I feel like that obviously isn't enough.
Yeah.
What ways do you think we can increase it? Advertising, sponsorships? What do you feel like is the best way to increase female participation in the Paralympics?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. To increase women Paralympics, it is all about the advertisements and the sponsorships, because all in all, those big brands already have a big following. So let's say you're scrolling on your Instagram and you see someone you follow being sponsored by a big brand, you're going to automatically feel a connection with them and think, okay, I'm going to follow up on them, see what they do, see what they're doing in their industry at the moment. So yeah, I think you're right. It is all about advertisements and sponsorships and just putting the sport out there.
Yeah, perfect, like you said. I think it's also more about equipment. I feel like if you're providing more equipment for Parasports, obviously they're not able-bodied people, so, they need the economic support as well as, the physical support as well. I feel like if we're providing that for the younger generation, that will inspire more to participate in sport. There's a lot of women that want to participate in wheelchair basketball in school and wheelchair rugby, etc., etc. But if they haven't got the funds and, the equipment to be able to participate in that, then they won't be able to be future Paralympians, in years to come, don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. And that's a good point you made there as well about trying to bring up the next generation, because in order to do that, we need a good coaching system, good facilities to put these children into. And like you said, that's all into funding. So the more popularity, the more openness we're willing to talk about these topics, I feel like there is room for women in Paralympics to grow. Take a few kids from secondary school, whether they're disabled or not, and give them the opportunity to join in sports, because by them doing so, it will lead to other girls doing so, because, if you see your friend doing something, you want to join in as well. And yeah, it is all down to funding. Like I said, having good coaches with good qualifications, having good facilities, good equipment, all that can really help improve women in the Paralympics.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, I feel like the opportunities is such an important thing. If you're providing, school kids, providing them with tickets to the Paralympics, you need to give them the opportunity to be able to witness the Paralympics, to be able to be inspired by these role models, because I feel like there is a very big lack of role models in parasports. And I feel like if you provide them with tickets and, opportunities to witness these events, that will definitely inspire the youth.
Yeah, 100%. Just simple things, like you said, just giving out tickets. That is a great way to get more people down to watch games, because a lot of the situation is, in the cost of living we are today, many people can't afford to go to watch games, can't afford to go to certain events. But by giving those out for free, it's encouraging people to get up, go and support the men and the women in the Olympics and in the Paralympics.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Sakina. That's all we've got time for, but come back next week for another Paradise podcast.